So
Yeah, exactly.
do you think that helped you when you started transitioning into the music world? Because that also takes a thick skin, like people critiquing your art musically and stuff.
I'm just about to lose my mind.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the beginning for me, I started doing more like club type music, like instrumental dance music. So that was like the first kind of stuff that I signed. So, but when I did that, I wasn't really expecting to be like a producer or like a DJ professionally. So in the beginning, like any kind of rejection, I was kind of expecting in a way.
Okay.
But I think the more that something becomes your job and the more serious it is, then you're kind of like, you hear things that people say, and especially in different areas in music, you can get, just things based off what you look like, or being a female, not really having a lot of other female producers and DJs around,
True.
doing that like festival DJ scene, and you're the only girl a lot of the time other than like the dancers. I think in that way it's kind of hard, and you can hear criticism for things that maybe like don't always make sense.
Right.
I guess somebody criticizes a song and they're like, "Oh, I just don't like that song." I'll be like, "Okay, whatever,"
Yeah.
But if they're gonna criticize me for something I can't control, then it's a little more like hurtful, I think. I'm also really sensitive, so maybe I'm just a big baby, but
Well, you're like, I think, and if I could just remember back, because I didn't write it down. Actually, I think I might have did write it down. May of you're born in May,
February.
February. So what sign is
Yeah.
that?
Pisces.
You're a Pisces. I don't know
Yeah.
anything except my own sign. I'm a Cancer. I know we're supposed to be
Okay.
super emo. You know what I mean?
We're supposed to be good friends, actually, Cancer and Pisces,
Oh
from
yeah.
what I've heard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta I gotta dig a little bit deeper into my whole horoscope type vibes. Right?
I know a little bit, but yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we're supposed to be floaty and like all over the place, and artsy and emotional, which is basically me. So yeah.
Well, then you got a lot of the Pisces traits there down pat then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Like you're from Toronto, but I feel nobody's ever born in Toronto. Right? So are you
No.
like from like east of Toronto, like that Peterborough area?
I'm from the east side, yeah, but more like Donlands, like east of Greektown. So like,
Oh.
yeah, it kind of. I mean, I kind of hung out like around like Girard area, like a little bit east of the East Chinatown kind of area. So yeah, that's like where I grew up, in that area.
Near Degrassi High.
Is that where it is?
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
where-
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because there's Degrassi Street around there, all right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a little more east than that, but yeah, I know
So-
where that is. Yeah.
What was life
Drake
like
is.
for you growing up, like as a teenager around there, like high school life and stuff?
I mean, with high school, I was already modeling, so I was gone like all the time. I was already traveling. I was in Europe a lot. I think I didn't really have a lot of friends. Like I was involved in everything. I was on almost every sports team, student council related stuff. Like I was very active with. Anytime I could be on stage, I would be on stage, like
Right.
at my school. So I was always kind of out there, but without having close friendships. Like I didn't talk one-on-one a lot to people. So I think very shy, but also have this desire to like express myself a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's kind of the vibe of a lot of people a lot of kids in the area, because I think a lot of kids around there have like very different backgrounds. So everyone is kind of like a big melting pot of different backgrounds. So I feel like we fit together because we're all so different.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Chinese people there, kids whose parents like had just moved to Toronto, so like almost didn't speak English. There's like such a mesh of different people in that area.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I like about Toronto, though, is that it's such like a melting pot kind of thing. Like, you grow up seeing all different kinds of people, and even though maybe you don't directly relate to somebody, you like that's what makes what makes it Toronto, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're actually
So
able to
yeah.
have access to them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah, and experience other people's cultures and that's fine. Like, you know.
Yeah, and like you mentioned that your dad is in the music industry, or who did
Yeah.
music, right? So
Yeah.
I missed that in my research. Who's your dad?
Well, he's not famous, but he's like he was a jazz musician. So he had a band, he played saxophone. So he was like a touring band, just kind of playing gigs around. He wasn't like a you know him or something, but
Okay.
he's extremely talented, but yeah,
Yeah.
more like on the jazz side of it.
So is that part of your like young inspiration to get into music?
I think so. I mean, I always saw him like recording music and playing guitar and singing, and I'm sure that had something to do with it. And my mom also loved music always. She would always do like aerobics in the living room to like Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin, and that's like my first experience with music.
Yeah.
Neville Brothers, that's like the first stuff that I heard as like a little baby. And also my dad's like weird jazz stuff that, you know, experimental. So I think I had like kind of a big mixture of influences musically for sure. But I saw him doing a lot of music, and it was probably big inspiration for me.
That's very interesting because I was looking through an interview earlier where you were mentioning that like your mom doing aerobics to the Neville Brothers and Stevie
Oh,
Wonder and
really?
stuff like that, right? It was like
Yeah.
a little 5 minute interview on another platform. It was a really great piece of content, right? But it started
cool.
making me think, okay, and maybe it's just my ignorance and stuff like that to stuff, and I like to learn. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you mixed with anything, or do you just have like white parents?
I mean, my parents are white, yeah, but they're like a little lighter than me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know fully my background, but like my brother, he has more like straight hair and he's like paler than me. I'm more like yellow kind of, I guess.
Well, no, the reason I ask that is because, like, your mom's working out to, and I know these guys are popular anyway at those times, but like Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, I was like, they got a lot of soul going on in that household right
Yeah.
there. Like,
I mean, I think my dad, like he had said a couple times, because he's not, I mean, if you see him especially at the time when he still had his hair color there, I think you wouldn't necessarily know what his background is either. Maybe he could be like Spanish or Italian maybe, or something like that. But he told me that he used to get a lot of crap when he would like go out and perform, because like he was the only lighter guy in the band.
Right.
And sometimes they would kind of be like, what are you doing here? Like, you know,
that's crazy.
but he's always loved that kind of music. And that's how my parents met, actually. My mom was watching him perform. She's out at the jazz bar or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think especially being from Toronto and having so many cultures, I think that, you know, it's normal to like whatever you like.
Yeah.
You know? I had so many white friends that like only ate Chinese food and like only had Chinese friends, you know? And I just think I never thought anything of it. I just thought everybody's mixed with something anyway. So,
It's
know.
interesting. I feel it's an interesting look into the way that our lineage works into how we listen to our music now, because a lot of people assume that, you know, white people only started getting into hip hop and like when it started getting popular in the early 2000s and it started getting super commercialized, and not realizing that a lot of people have been listening to all different types of music from a really long time. So your influences can come from listening to like a Stevie Wonder at home as a kid. You know what I mean? And you don't necessarily have to be a black person to have heard that. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. And I mean, I think that's kind of what music is. People taking ideas from each other and changing styles over time. You know, we do it with food as well. We do it with everything, like and culture and music and art. Like you have all these influences, and then you somewhere, even if it's not intentional, you're using things that you like and what you grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I always love dancing and I love rhythm, and that's all black music. So, you know, I don't even know what is white music, like opera, like.
I guess if you want to like from like the old school, you know, the first or
Yeah.
you know ancestral musics. I guess like the earliest form of quote unquote white music would be opera. But I really
Yeah.
hate classifying any music as black or white because like we all
Yeah.
enjoy it, whether we're making it or consuming it. We're all enjoying it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you just proven it from like what your parents were listening to, right?
Yeah.
Now like it makes more sense when you I feel like when I read things or see things like your dream collab was doing something with RZA,
With who? Sorry.
with the RZA.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait, I said that somewhere.
You said that somewhere that one of your dream
Yeah,
collabs
I mean-
would be the RZA, right?
Yeah,
So were you
I
like
mean-
heavily into Wu-Tang and stuff like that back in the days too?
I would say I was more of like a Tupac fan. So I actually I don't remember how old I was. I was probably like 8 or something. I did a whole school project on Tupac.
Sick.
And everyone else was doing like, I don't know, like I heard some people did like Martin Luther King and stuff like that, but I was like Tupac. And I was like super into all the conspiracy stuff about him. Like I don't know where that came from, to be honest. Like I was obsessed with him. Like his movies and stuff. Like everything about him was super cool. I mean, yeah, he was dead already, but you know.
Yeah.
He's still, people still love him. So I think I even have like drawings and paintings of him and stuff.
So you were a real Pac fan then, like.
Yeah, I
the
really liked
core.
him a lot. I mean, for me, I didn't have like one person that I sort of like one artist. I think like TLC was definitely a group for me who was like, I idolized. And Mariah Carey as well. I always wanted to be a singer, but I didn't have the voice. So
You couldn't hit
I
that,
think,
that
like-
high note that she does.
I can actually sing pretty high, and I took singing and a lot of lessons and choral singing. I was a soprano in that.
Nice.
I tried it, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll like try a little bit. But
We got
Not
auto
anytime
tune now. You
soon.
could do anything.
I wish I could rap. Actually, that'd be great. But no, I write poetry, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to start getting into some of your hip hop production as we continue our conversation. But I want
Yeah.
to stay here for a second with the early music, right?
Yeah.
Back in like let's say when you were like 12 years old and we were still working with MP3 players and stuff like that, right? Or I think we
Yeah.
might have been still using CD Walkmans at that point, no?
When was that? I mean, my brother's also older than me, and we didn't really have money to buy like the newer stuff, so we always had like older.
So you had like
we
the
always like the
cassette
last
deck?
ones.
Did you have the cassette
My
Walkman?
dad did. My dad, no, I didn't have that one. I had the CD. I did have the CDs though, for sure. But my brother had some tapes that I stole.
Okay, so good. What tapes were like, I have to steal this? And what CDs were you
A
listening
tape
to?
or CD?
Tapes, what tape or CD, doesn't matter, right? But
Okay.
this is like a must steal. And which one were you listening to where you're like, you listened to it so much that you fucked it up either, or you lost it and you had to go buy another one because it was that much of your favorite?
There was a, it was actually a funk CD. I think it's Pure Funk. It was a Much Music compilation, I think.
I remember that.
It's like brown cover. I'm pretty sure it was somebody with like an afro and like some bell bottoms, I think.
I remember that.
I like one. I need to see this now. But
Hold
that
on.
had like,
Let me see if
I mean,
can
there was
pull
some
it up.
more commercial stuff on it. There was like Kool and the Gang and stuff on it. But there was also like, what was like that song I love so much. It's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Wait, every time I move, I lose. You know that song? Wait, what is that? I'm forgetting the name now.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up Google. You can see the share screen I have on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the first compilation that you mentioned?
I think it's Pure Funk
Pure Funk.
compilation CD. Yeah, that's it.
Let's see what the image is.
Yes, I was right. And you don't see the bell bottoms, but I'm pretty sure he's wearing bell bottoms.
That's great. Oh
Wow.
man,
That's awesome.
Taking you through a blast
I
of the
listened to
past.
that so many times.
That
And
was
it's
a-
weird because It's not even like my like my dad didn't even really like the stuff. He thought it was too commercial. But I loved it. I've always kind of I like commercial stuff, I have to say. Like I also like some underground stuff, but I can appreciate some good commercial music as well.
Yeah. So was
I
that
was
a
just
buy?
talking-
Was that what you bought and lost and like burned to the ground, like burned to like listened to so much?
I don't think I bought it. I don't even know how it ended up anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really bought a CD until I was like, I don't know. I don't even remember the first thing I bought. I don't know if I actually bought a CD myself.
Right.
I think I was just like stuff in, around the house. But my memory is like so bad with that. So,
Okay, what about the stolen one from your
okay,
bro?
this is a different genre. My brother had a Weezer tape, the one with the blue background, and all
Okay.
standing there. So like, I also really like Weezer, like the Sweater song and stuff. That stuff I really liked as well. There's a few rock type songs I liked as well. The Big Shiny Tunes, they had a couple good songs on there.
Much music, big shiny tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I listen to the things that I used to like as a kid, and I'm like trying to figure out what it is I like about all these different types of music.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say mainly hip hop and funk is what I liked, and then there's occasional, other song or other thing that I just was obsessed with.
Yeah.
I mean, TLC, for example, like I like their songs, but I think I also liked them, like what they looked like and how they acted, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, their swag. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like how they're tomboyish and that kind of thing. Because I've been a tomboy my whole life, so I just maybe it doesn't look like it now. But yeah. I was actually just talking to Chris the Spirit the other day about, he asked me like, what are your favorite songs of all time? So I started listing everything, and I'm like, well, right now, like I love Drake and like Sway Lee and stuff, but I started writing things, and I was like, NERD is also like, that was a little bit later though, like Pharrell and stuff. I was just thinking like ASAP Ferg, but that was also later.
Yeah.
But I had all these like, I also really liked Nelly and that whole new age, like that new kind of hip hop style that came around.
Like
when was that? Like
early 2000s.
2000. Yeah, early 2000. I was into that as well, like the shake your tail feather and stuff like that. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Did you watch the Tip Drill video on BET back in the days?
The which one?
Tip Drill video that he had on BET back in the days.
I didn't have BET. We didn't have like any of the like special channels. We had like 10 channels. It was like the news and I mean Much Music, but that was like it came with your like TV thing, right? Yeah.
So,
but I didn't have MTV, didn't have BET, like no comedy, whatever network, nothing.
Yeah.